Here we are starting out at the Thunderbird Inn where we spent the night, and we're going to do a walking tour of the beautiful town of Savannah. We're going to follow the tram path of the
Old Town Trolley Tour.
The Old Town Trolley Tour. We've got one of their maps, and we're just going to follow all the stops on that by foot.
By foot.
All right, here we go. Okay, we're walking from the Thunderbird Inn down Oglethorpe, and we're going to take a right-hand turn on Martin Luther King Boulevard. Here we are coming to the intersection of Oglethorpe and Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, and we're going to take a right-hand turn, go down the street to the visitor center. What I'm doing is following the map you can see here, which is the trolley tour map. And you can see I've marked up and circled in black all the places we want to see. On the way going to the Visitor Center, we've just passed the Savannah College of Art and Design. Here we are at the Visitor Center, our starting point for today's walk of historic places. So we've left the Visitor Center and we're going back the way we came, back up to Oglethorpe, taking a right-hand turn to take us to Bull Street.
At the Visitor Center, we also got this schedule of the Department of Transportation bus schedule. The bus route here goes just in the historic district. The bus is free. You can get on and off whenever you want. It comes every 10 minutes, and it goes all around the historic district, and there's also a free ferry that goes across the river. So we might do that if we get tired.
Okay, we're back to the intersection of Oglethorpe and Martin Luther King Boulevard. We're going to take this east or to the right, and then take this to Bull Street. Past Whitaker, and we're going towards Bull Street.
This Presbyterian Church?
Independent Presbyterian Church.
Lowell Mason was the organist at this independent Presbyterian church that was founded in 1755. He is a composer of over 1,600 songs, including Nearer My God to Thee, and he also set the music to Mary Had a Little Lamb.
And we're at the corner of Oglethorpe and Bull Street, and we're taking a right-hand turn at Bull Street, which is the street that this church is facing, and we're going to start walking down this way. As we turn right on Bull Street, we're approaching Chippewa Square, the famous Chippewa Square, where a part of the movie Forrest Gump was filmed. Here we are at Chippewa Square, which is the second stop on the trolley tours, and we're going to continue walking down Bull Street, still in Chippewa Square. And there's the statue of Oglethorpe. James Edward Oglethorpe died in 1785.
He founded the colony of Georgia.
Continuing south at Chippewa Square, we've just passed Perry Street, and we're continuing on south on Bull Street.
Go to the Ministry of Magic. I'll be right back. Oh no, I'm a muggle.
Here we are at Madison Square, across the street from the Sorrel Wheat House. I'm standing in Madison Square, looking north now. Towards the Sorrel Weed House, an example of Greek Revival and Regency architecture. If I pan to the right of the Sorrel Weed House, we have the
the Greene Meldrum Mansion, which was General Sherman's headquarters while he was here in Savannah.
And to the left of that is the
Episcopal Church.
Continuing south on Bull Street, we're coming to Monterey Square. As we walk through Monterey Square, to our left is the
Temple Mickve, Israel. It's the third oldest Jewish congregation in America.
Let's walk over there.
Okay.
If we walk to the right-hand side of the Jewish temple, we're going to come to the Wesley Monumental Methodist Church. Okay, we're in Calhoun Square. Looking to the west at the Methodist Church. And we're going to go back to Bull Street to continue our walk down to Forsyth Park. Okay, we're walking west on East Gordon. You see some of these just stunning homes. As we pass the Jewish synagogue on our right, we're coming back to Monterey Square. And we're going to take a left-hand turn again on Bull Street over here to our left. As we continue to head south on Bull Street here, we're going to Forsyth Park. Here we are in Forsyth Park. We're approaching the park from the north end. This obviously is one of the most famous landmarks in Savannah, and it's beautiful that we're here this St. Patrick's Day week to see it with green water. What a beautiful time of year to be walking through Forsyth Park.
And she loves it. Let's take a break.
Dixie?
And then
12-year-old.
oh, I know. Oh, Dave, show her the portable.
As we come to the south side of Forsyth Park, we're going to take a left-hand turn, which is eastbound on Park Street. And we're going to go up the east side of the park on Drayton Street. Okay, we're at the corner of Park and Drayton on the south side of Forsyth Park, and across the street from the park is
Telfair Hospital. Mary Telfair founded it, and she decreed that only women could work in it and run it. She was the richest woman in Georgia. She was as rich as the next 3 people combined, and they were men.
Okay, let's turn back up, take a left-hand turn on Drayton and go up the east side of the park. Here we are at the corner of East Gwinnett and Drayton Street.
And look, here's the bus that's free. Take a picture of the bus. You can take this bus for free around the historic district.
Here on my left is the mansion on Forsyth. We're continuing east on East Gwinnett Street, past Abercorn, towards Lincoln, and we're going to take a left-hand turn on Lincoln. Here we are at the corner of Lincoln and East Gwinnett. We're going to take a left-hand turn on Lincoln and follow it back around to come back to the east side of Forsyth Park. Here's the birthplace of Johnny Mercer, one of the most famous people here in Savannah. He wrote so many songs, and he won Academy Awards, 4 of them, including probably his most famous song, Moon River. We also found out on another tour that he wrote the lyrics to the Addams Family TV show theme song. Here on the corner of Lincoln and East Hall Street, We're going to take a left-hand turn on East Hall, heading westbound back towards Forsyth Park. We've done a little loop around to see the Johnny Mercer home and the mansion on Forsyth, and we're heading back to the park at the end of this street here. Here we are back at the east side of Forsyth Park at the intersection of Drayton and Hall. We're going to cross back over and walk a little further north along the park. We're heading northbound again on the east side of the park, heading towards East Gordon Street, where we'll take a right-hand turn heading eastbound even more. Here we are at the northeast corner of Forsyth Park, and we're going to take a right-hand turn here at the corner of Drayton and Gaston Street. Walking east on Gordon Street, just beautiful. Here we are at the intersection of Lincoln and East Gaston. We're going to continue on till we get to the intersection of Habersham, and then take a left-hand turn, which will take us to the Cathedral of St. John. Here we are at the intersection of Gaston and Habersham. You can see that purple building across the street there. Well, we're going to take a left-hand turn right here. Here we've come to another square, a smaller square, Whitefield Square, with a little gazebo there. Here we are still on Habersham. We're going northbound towards the Cathedral of St. John, and we came across a patch of sidewalk.
It's tabby, T-A-B-B-Y, made with crushed shells.
Here we are at the intersection of Habersham and East Carlton. We're going to cross the street. Here's Troup Square.
When General Oglethorpe laid out the city of Savannah, he used a grid pattern with squares placed randomly throughout the city. These squares were originally used to practice and drill the militia. Today, they're gathering places of beauty and history.
Here we are at the Unitarian Universalist Church. We're going to take a left-hand turn here and go down to St. John the Divines. But there's something famous about this church and the music director of this church. In the 1850s, John Pierpont was the music director at this Universalist church here, and he's the one that composed Jingle Bells. We're walking to the end of Troup Square and taking a left-hand turn on East Harris Street in Habersham to go down to this Cathedral of St. John. So there's St. John's Cathedral in the background, and we've got Lafayette Park here. But if we pivot around this way, here's the Andrew Lowe House. Here behind the Andrew Lowe House is the first Girl Scout headquarters in the United States. Here at the corner of East Harris Street and Abercorn is St. John's Cathedral. Let's go look inside. Okay, we've left the Cathedral of St. John the Baptist and we're heading northbound again on Abercorn, and we're heading back to Oglethorpe where we started out this morning, but there's plenty more. Here we are. To our right is the Colonial Park Cemetery, Again, we're heading northbound from the Cathedral. We took a little detour after we went north from the Cathedral to get a little ice cream at the most famous place in town, Leopold's. Let's check this line out. I hope it's worth it. Here we are, we got our ice cream. I've got a brownie sundae with cookie dough ice cream, and
I got chocolate chip.
and they're very good. Okay, we're back on track on the tour. We're at the corner of Abercorn and Oglethorpe. We have turned westbound on Oglethorpe, and we're going to pick up the trail again after some delicious ice cream at Leopold's. Here we are walking westbound on Oglethorpe, and we come to the Juliette Gordon Low birthplace. She's the founder of the Girl Scouts. We saw the headquarters of the Girl Scouts earlier. Continuing on Oglethorpe, past Whitaker, we're going to take a lot of twists and turns after we take a right-hand turn up here. And just hang on, it'll be worth it. Okay, here we are at the intersection of Barnard and Oglethorpe, and we're taking a right-hand turn heading back north. Here we are coming upon Telfair Square. Let's cross over. Across the street on the northwest corner of that square is the Telfair Academy of Arts and Sciences. Inside this museum is the famous Bird Girl statue that was moved from the Bonaventure Cemetery to this location so it could be protected. Okay, just to the north side of that museum, we're going on State Street left or westbound, and we're going to the next intersection up here. At the intersection here of State Street and Jefferson, we're going to take a right-hand turn on Jefferson. If I pan to my left, here's some public parking if you want to know where some parking is. Okay, let's go up Jefferson. Passing the McDonald's on our right. We're coming up to the City Market. Here we are in City Market, sort of near the intersection of Congress and Jefferson.
It's been an open-air market since the 1700s.
These cookies would be very appealing if we hadn't just had way too much ice cream. Here in City Market is the Prohibition Museum of Savannah. But we're going to go back to where we were, to Jefferson Street, and take a right-hand turn. Ford Model A. I remember this car because my dad told me he owned one back in the day. Without the moonshine. Okay, we're back to Jefferson, and we're going to go all the way up to Bay Street, heading north towards the river. Here we are at the intersection of Bay Street and Jefferson. We're going to take a right-hand turn, head back east. You see the gold dome of the City Hall in the distance there. We're going to go back up to Bull Street and take another right-hand turn. As we continue to walk on Bay Street, you see on the left-hand side the City Hall, this beautiful gold dome building. And we're going to take a right turn on Bull Street. Here we are, we've just turned right on Bull Street again, heading south. And we're going to weave our way through this historic section of Savannah. Here we are in Johnson Square. We're continuing on Bull Street. We went through Johnson Square and we're going to go through to the next square, which is
Wright Square.
Wright Square. And we're gonna turn there. Here we are, we're approaching Wright Square, continuing through on Bull Street.
Wright Square, this came right.
Okay, we passed through the other side of Wright Square to East York Street, and now we're heading east, or we took a left on East York Street. And we're heading on this for a couple more blocks.
Chatham County Courthouse right there, the yellow building.
Beautiful courthouse. If I ever bought a Hummer, I think I'd have it in pink also. Let's continue on East York. Okay, continuing on, we're crossing over to Oglethorpe Square. Just beyond, we'll take a left. Let's cut through the park. Okay, right off of Oglethorpe Square to my left, we pan around to the Owens-Thomas House, one of the 3 Telfair museums that you can get for one admission price. You get into 3 different museums, including this house. So we've come back around to Broughton Street and we're going to take a right-hand turn. This location was a famous site for a civil rights movement sit-in at a lunch counter that used to be in this building. Let's go back to Broughton. This takes us back to where we detoured and had some ice cream across the street. Here we are at the intersection of Habersham and East Broughton, and we're going to turn southbound again on Habersham to Columbia Square. Here we are at Columbia Square. We've come down Habersham. Some more green water in Columbia Square. We're going to go to the south side of this park and take a left on East York Street. Here we are at East York Street, just south of Columbia Square. And we're going to take a left here, walk a couple blocks up this street. We're heading toward Greene Square and we'll take a left-hand turn on the far side of Greene Square. Here we are at Greene Square. Let's go to the far east side of it and we're going to take a left and then a quick right. Here we are again. We're going to take a right-hand turn on East President and go up a block and take a left-hand turn on East Broad Street there. Alright, let's turn left on Broad. We should be coming up to the Pirate House here, down this street. We're going to cross to the other side of the street, the old Pirate's House. Inside the Pirate House.
I see that. She started yet, so I don't know if she's in there. I don't know.
The Herb House, part of the oldest house in Georgia. Okay, we had another stop here at the Pirate's House, and we're heading, continuing north towards the river after we take one more photo. So we turned left on Bay Street We're gonna come up here just a little bit to East Broad, continue it, sort of jogs around. And we're gonna go see the Waving Girl statue.
Down on the river?
Down on the river. Okay, we crossed over East Bay Street and we're going down this cobblestone path where the cars are coming up here, and it picks up East Broad Street again. Okay, come down the cobblestone, take a little left, and there is the Waving Girl.
Savannah Belles Ferry. It's free. Crosses the river, takes a triangle, comes back. We started at the Waving Girl landing.
We took this ferry from Waving Girl to the City Hall stop.
It's free. Savannah Belles Ferry.
We're gonna walk back along River Street and then continue the tour. So we've had another little detour here. Along River Street here, we've taken again another little jog to see this war memorial, the World War II memorial. Okay, we've come up from Walking Girl, up River Street now, Bay Street to River Street. We're gonna turn left here on Lincoln and go back up to the main street. Okay, we've come up those steps. We're at the intersection of Bay and Lincoln. We're gonna head just a little south on Lincoln and then take a little turn. Okay, we're gonna stay on Lincoln and then take a right on Bryan Street and go by the old Pink House, the famous restaurant of Savannah. Let's take a right here on Bryan. A couple blocks down here, we should run into the old Pink House. Here we are, crossing over to Reynolds Square.
We were just a block that way before.
And we'll cut through this park. Okay, we came from Reynolds Park. We went over to the old Pink House restaurant, and then we came back here, and we're going back to Bay Street up there and taking a left-hand turn for the final couple stops of our trip today. Here we are at the intersection of Abercorn and Bay, as I said, and we're turning left. You can see again the City Hall down the block there. All right, we've got one more stop on our trip here, and that's to go to the First African Baptist Church. Here we are back to the intersection of Bull Street and Bay Street, the beautiful City Hall of Savannah. Okay, here we are on Bay Street. We're going to turn on Barnard, take a left. Across there is Ellis Park. Franklin Square, and around the corner from this side is the First African Baptist Church. Well, it's been a long day, but I hope you've enjoyed this walking tour of Savannah. What a beautiful city, so many wonderful places to see. The squares are lovely and beautiful, especially on this beautiful March day. And I know there was lots of twists and turns along the way, but if you followed it, I think we hit all the highlights of the city.
You'll love it.
Yeah, enjoyed it, and enjoy your time here, and certainly make plans to come to Savannah. Bye.